Thank you. Moved and seconded to adopt the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carries. Approval of minutes. Have you all gone through them, and was there anything?
I did. I will move to approve them.
It's been moved to seconded to approve the minutes of last month's meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So thank you. The motion carries. Any public comment or any guests coming? Or
We received no additional public comment, and there is no in-person public comment.
Thank you. Samantha, any administrative items you'd like to share?
Yeah, so in your packet is the information regarding the nomination and approval of the chair and vice chair for the term that would begin in our next meeting in January and carry through the year of 2026. I think I mentioned that at our last meeting, that per our bylaws annually we have to appoint and vote on and appoint or reappoint the chair and vice chair to the commission. And so I did outline the duties involved and would ask that the commission discuss, nominate, and formally vote to approve the chair and vice chair for 2026. Happy to help or answer any questions.
Okay. Any comments or any?
Is this the time we recommend a nomination?
This is the time.
Then I would like to nominate. Thank you. I would like to nominate a Chair Scher for another term as chair.
I would second that nomination if that's required.
Is that
Yeah, we can vote on the two separately.
okay?
Yeah.
So, would you like to lead the voting on this?
Oh, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Well, then I move we appoint Rhonda Scher as our chair again this year.
Yay.
Yes.
Is it okay if we applaud?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. And I would like to nominate for vice chair because she's been a great vice chair to me this whole last year. If Noelle will continue, I would love to have Noelle as vice chair again this year.
Well, I would love to do that. Thank you. And this
If it
was
makes you
seconded-
happy, it makes me happy. I would second that.
Yes.
What a great group this is. Can we just be this group forever? I've been in such a collegial group in my whole career, hardly.
Welcome to the club. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that Noelle Resnick serve as vice chair of the Yountville Arts Commission for the next year. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Yay. All
All
right.
right.
Motion carries. Thank you.
That was
Thank you
easy.
all.
Thank you both for continuing to serve.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. Okay. Moving along. Sam, the Art Fund, I noticed some changes from last month.
A little bit. So you'll notice that the first report in the packet is the Town of Yountville Community Foundation Fund, and there's been no change in that since our last report. So you're sitting at almost $79,000 in that fund, and you have approved one expense this year, which would be the repair to the paint of the mural. And I'm still in communication with LC Studio Tuto that hopefully in February, March, we can make that happen. So I have her email tagged, and we're going to check in after the holidays on that. For the Yountville Arts General Fund, which is the next report, this is as of the end of October, and this shows the general fund art expenses and revenues, and that's pretty much on par with what we would expect. Our main expenses will come out during Art Sip and Stroll, as well as our main revenue sources for that. And then the last is the Fund 23, the Public Art Program Fee Fund, and I gave that real detailed report on that at our last meeting, and worked with Kyle, and we moved the money that we needed to move, and so that balance is sitting at just under $11,800, and that is current as of October 31st. And I believe we have approved sculptures hanging out there. One stipend will go out next week, and then we have Be the Gift coming, and then potential one more, but otherwise I think we're in pretty solid shape. Yeah. Any questions or I'm always happy. I don't provide the detailed reports with this because it's like 20 pages, but I'm always happy to share that with you or anyone who's interested in learning more or sit down. But we will start the budget preparation process in January for the next 2-year budget cycle. So that would start July of 2026 and carry us through June of 2028. And like we discussed, working with each subcommittee chair and their group to look at the individual programming and start to work on that. So I'll start scheduling some of those meetings in January.
So you'll let us know when and so forth. Okay.
Yep,
great.
absolutely.
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you, Sam.
Absolutely.
So that brings us to the Art Walk Subcommittee. Let's see. We have Richard Starks will be here on Wednesday at 9 a.m. to install Heart Song, which has now been powder coated a beautiful red, and he is thrilled, and I think it's going to be really nice on the corner of Yount and Fennell.
Yay.
And Be the Gift has not left Nebraska yet. They were waiting until after the holidays. There's really no urgency, but I expect to hear soon when they're planning to ship. The weather makes a big difference. There's 2 mountain ranges they have to go through.
Is that the Thanksgiving holiday or Christmas holiday? They're waiting for the Christmas holiday to
No,
pass?
no,
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great.
So that's this one, if you recall, that would go in front of the chamber. And so we're just waiting. I hate to put the sculpture in jeopardy with weather considerations. There's no urgency. So they know they would like to get it moved out here, especially for the holiday season, but have to kind of leave it up to them. The other thing that's happening is the Sentinel and Combustion, one in front of Community Center, and then Combustion is along the vineyard frontage, are going to be removed the middle of January. So that brings us pretty current. Other things, we have a sculpture, you may recall, that we sold to Pacific Grove, I think a year ago. And it's been going through the process. It appears that we're just waiting for the city of Pacific Grove to put in the pedestal to this is Peter Hazel and the butterfly sculpture. To put in this pedestal that the sculpture is going to sit on. So I would like to think we'll get our money in another maybe month or 2. The sale has kind of been hanging out there for a while, so everybody's motivated. It's just a matter of getting it through public
And just to
works.
clarify, he's making a new one for them, right? Our butterflies isn't
Yes,
making. Okay,
it's a new one.
perfect.
I believe it's the 7 butterfly version like ours, but she wanted stainless steel, so it's stainless instead of the powder coat, which I think is beautiful from what I've seen, and so we're just kind of waiting on that. But the good news is we will get some income in when it does install and
That's
get paid
great.
off.
Congrats.
She gave us was it 50%, I think, deposit, which we sent to Peter to get the work going and get the work done. So our commission will come out of the last payment. So yay to that. And I think that's all of my Art Walk news. Gallery committee, poor Jeffrey is really sick. So,
Thing, he and Judy both.
yeah. So, anyway, he gives us the timing and the upcoming shows for 2026, including the youth exhibit. So, and you'll see also, of course, the proposal for Betty Prioli for for a show in the gallery. So that would wrap up our schedule for 2026, if you accept that. And then, we never know when we book out this this early. We're never, we always have a little bit of a doubt if something might happen between then and now. But at this point, they've all been confirmed, and we should be a go with the schedule as presented in Jeffrey's notes. So,
I'm just a little bit curious about this artist. Will there be then trays and other pieces in addition to artwork?
I haven't confirmed that with Jeffrey.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlin and I both toured with Jeffrey, so
great.
when we're ready to move on to that item for approval, I'm happy to, give you that. Are we ready for that, Rhonda?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can move on.
But I think we had a meeting within the committee about that, and I think our thought was that the art was more compelling, that maybe there would be some space for a few things, but really the focus was to highlight the paintings.
Yeah. She has a lot of art pieces,
Right.
this stuff, but we thought some were not really what we wanted. And Jeffrey thought maybe he would select a few significant pieces, and that's it.
Sure. We have
It's for sale.
pedestals or whatever we just keep us informed so we make sure you have the tools you need when the time
When
comes.
it's time to.
Yeah. So you see the information that the subcommittee has sent. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? I was curious about the ceramics also. I can see this, the trays maybe, and
We sort of set the standard for, those are hangable, they're easier.
yes.
And just a little background, I think that the ceramics kind of helped tell her story because she did live in Italy for quite some time, and when she was there, she was employed as a ceramics painter that did this work that was her work, but it was on ceramics. And touring her, what she has left in her collection, it's very limited. Although there's photos like this, she really doesn't have all of those things anymore, so it is pretty limited what else. But she does have a lot of paintings, and they are sizable, quite a few of them.
The colors are exquisite in her paintings. I think it's beautiful. And I love in the bio here where she talks about the music that she was listening to Franz Liszt. I was thinking, how cool would it be if we could have that music playing like softly in the background
Sure.
in the gallery for that?
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Great idea. Are there any other comments? Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, I would move to approve.
Is there a second? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve Betty Priolo for the time slot as indicated. All in favor?
I
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries.
I think that's very exciting. If you don't know Betty, she is in her 90s, and this is really a major thing for her. She hasn't been painting in quite some time, but she has this collection and has lived here for a very long time, so she's thrilled.
That's a
I
wonderful
love it. That
story.
just kind of gave me a little.
Yeah, I mean, Yountville is so interesting because you meet people, and I've saw her every day for many years, but then she came to an opening, the last opening, and was talking to me about her work and invited me to her house, and I had no idea.
Wow.
So, yeah, so I'm really thrilled that you've approved this, so thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. So Jeffrey also provided a literary report. I'm grateful to Jeffrey for providing both reports. Even though we miss him, it does at least keep us informed of what's going on. So as you can see, he's already working on the bookmark story contest, which is, it'll be September 2026. And I was going to ask him a little more about the Writers' Roundtable because he hasn't really discussed a lot of details about that. But we'll catch him next meeting. And I'm also happy to see that the Handwritten Out Loud is still alive. There was some speculation that it might not be, but he says early next year, so that's a great a great opportunity for us as well. Are there any questions for Jeffrey about the literary subcommittee report? Anything you want me to pass back on to him? No?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, thank you. So, marketing, Noel.
Marketing, lots and lots going on.
What's going on, Noel?
To start, we have created an ad, which is in your in your packet, for 6557 magazine, and it is promoting Mustard Celebration and creativity in Yountville. Creativity is blooming in Yountville, and it's highlighting Find Your Heart in Yountville and Photo Finale. So we are really excited about that, and it's going to hit right about the time the event starts, so that'll be lovely.
I love the design of it, the way the yellow pops with the blue sky background.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Rhonda and I worked on that with Michael Aronson, and we were really pleased with the way it came out. Because, I mean, there's a lot of information, a lot we wanted to promote, and then we had to kind of pare it down to just more or less Yountville and the arts in February and the Mustard Celebration. And this is what we came up with, and we feel it really hits the spot. Also, there's going to be a story about Photo Finale, and that story has been written and submitted and approved, along with several submissions that have already been sent in for Photo Finale. So the artwork accompanying the editorial is all going to be in the gallery. So it's not from last year, it's all from this year, and it's all fresh and new, so that's going to be exciting too. They'll have a lot of photographs and a huge photo layout. And this is a real special story that I'm excited about that Caitlin shared with us, that there was a woman in a hotel enjoying a leisurely time relaxing, and there was a copy of 6557 in her room, and she picked it up and was reading about Loretta, and she saw one of the paintings, and she had been looking for a painting for her living room, and she said, "My goodness, this is it." And she reached out, and did she connect with the gallery, Sam?
Yeah, I just
She emailed Loretta while she was in her hotel room, and Loretta responded immediately and was like, actually, the painting is there in Yountville right now in the gallery space, and we do have a person who's in the gallery. It happened to be Dan, who's running the audio right now, and she purchased the painting right on the spot.
I mean, that was such a feel-good story. I know.
And it wasn't a little painting. It was the bigger painting. So it was really lovely.
I mean, that's just exactly what we all want to hear, that some of these things are working.
And what we wanted to hear.
Exactly. So thank you so much. That just, I know, Rhonda and I were like, did you see this? This is so incredible. And I actually had the whole story as you wrote it in the marketing report, and I thought, okay, I'll just tell it rather than putting it all in there. But it was absolutely wonderful. Now, I want to thank Linda. I have been working for a long time. The editor of Napa Valley Life left. Well, she retired and is moving on. I had a very close relationship with her and worked closely with her, pitching stories or accommodating her with stories when she requested them. And when she left, I was trying to find who the next contact would be, and they had not replaced her, and I had reached out to several people, and everybody said, wait and see, there is nobody yet. And Linda wrote to info at Napa Valley Life, and she hit it just at the right time because they needed a story, so they got right back to her, and they asked...
died on the vine.
Okay. They got right back to her, and they asked if we would write a story. So Rhonda and I jumped on that opportunity, and we wrote a story for them, and we submitted photos. Caitlin, thank you for helping us with all that. We just
You screamed.
and we did this in maybe 3 days.
Yeah, it was over a weekend. I remember that.
The Thanksgiving holiday was coming, and that everything would just slow down, and it wasn't even due till the middle of December.
December 15th.
Right, but we had it in before the Thanksgiving holiday, and they loved it, and they were very pleased. And I now have a contact at Napa Valley Life, which I'm thrilled
And
about.
probably a really
so
good
I took
one.
that opportunity to submit a couple other things so we can get in. We can get Photo Finale and Find Your Heart in their front of magazine calendar section with photographs and a little paragraph about each. And then I just said, I said, I think we need to have a conversation. So I called the woman who had reached out and requested the article, and I said, I'm so happy that you connected with Linda. I said, because I used to work very closely with Laura, and we submitted a lot of ideas for artists. And I'd like to continue doing that or submitting story ideas. She said, well, and our conversation got rolling, and we now have 5 upcoming issues of Napa Valley Life where we will be submitting artists, and they will write artist profiles on them. And the first one up will very likely be whomever our artist is for Art Sip and Stroll. I would also like to submit Chaz Polito because he will be in the gallery. And our goal is to work with artists that have currently something going on with the gallery or the arts in Yountville, or someone who had something going on. But most importantly, we've created this relationship to supply them with content. So thank you, Linda, for making that connection. It really just played out very, very well, and we have we have a renewed interest with Napa Valley Life, which is a wonderful publication here in town that has a lot of distribution. So that's great. And then for Art Sip and Stroll, Tim and I worked on the video. He edited a new video with video footage that we had from last year's event, the 2025 event. So it'll be some of the original video and new content. And as soon as we have our poster, and we can put the poster in it, then we'll give it to you, Sam, and we can start using it for Art Call and for all our marketing. So, and then Rhonda and I are working on the poster art and an artist. I guess we can't really work on the poster art yet until we have the artist, but we're very, very close.
We're kind of working with her. Right?
Yeah, we're working with her. We just need to finalize and lock everything down. So that will be coming. And then with Napa Valley Life, I guess we can let the cat out of the bag. Catherine Zimmer will be, I realize I put it on there. I wasn't sure. At the time, Rhonda and I were discussing finalizing this. So she will be the first article up, the writer profile in Napa Valley Life. So that's really great. And then 6557 was looking for another artist in the winter issue, and I worked with Rhonda to find another artist. I tried to have Chaz Polito go in, but he's unfortunately was rather ill, so we weren't able to make it happen fast enough. We needed to have it done in about 3-4 days. It was very last minute, but Rhonda suggested a few artists, Marta Collins being one of them, and she happens to be one of our Art Sip and Stroll artists. So it's once again ties back to Yountville, and we had asked if she would be sure to mention her involvement with Yountville Arts. And I also spoke with the writer and asked if she would be sure to please put that in there. So whenever we have artists that may not be directly connected, we try to get some sort of mention of the arts in there, which everybody is so accommodating. So that's...
I have a question. With the 6557, this issue that's coming up, we'll have our ad.
Yes,
We'll have an article on Photo Finale,
yes,
and we'll have Marta Collins.
yes.
So all those. Any others? Did I leave anybody out?
No, I think we got it covered.
We're on the magazine. Yeah, that's a lot. That's great. Good work.
Yeah, wonderful. And then for the art walk, as I mentioned, there'll be photos and brief commentary in the calendar section, the Best of Napa edition. So that will be in the February release. And also our Art Walk story will be in the February issue. So that's a lovely story, 500 words.
Wow.
We counted every one of them. We kept writing and writing and writing. And then.
So the one, excuse me.
No, go right ahead.
6557 comes out January 5th.
Yes.
And Napa Valley Life, with our article, comes out February, early February,
Yes.
we think. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know the exact date, but I know it's out early February.
So at some point, then, we would want to talk about the next artists that we're going to feature and get those going. Is that?
That's going to be Catherine, yes, absolutely. So we will do that.
Okay.
And then the Yountville Chamber is promoting the 12 Days of Christmas, and Shop the Yountville Art Walk catalog is one of the entries. So that went live, actually live, this past Saturday for 12 days. They're doing it a little differently this year.
I didn't see it. I didn't see us on it.
Oh, well, it is in it now.
Okay.
In the beginning, they were shuffling everything around, but when it actually hit live on November 29th, I checked, it was in there.
Oh, okay, good.
So that's going on with that. And that's everything. We've got a busy winter happening.
Good job, both of you. Thank you. Performing arts.
Okay.
PJ.
Boy, after all those great reports, I don't have a whole lot to bring up, but Judy and I did meet and we kind of submitted a laundry list of things to Sam that we want to sit down with her and talk about, I think, first before we bring everything forward. But otherwise, I think our next thing probably that we will be involved in will be the Yountville Day Parade on February 7th. So I did, which our idea for the float is these giant artist palettes with giant paintbrushes that will be a part of the float. So I had some photos I sent to Judy. I don't have anything printed or to show you here, but anyway, so more to come on that, and then more to come after we meet with Sam and kind of vet our laundry list of ideas to see what we think we want to come forward with.
Sam, does that stay the Yountville Days Parade, or does it turn into a Mardi Gras parade?
It's a Mardi Gras parade.
Mardi Gras, yeah.
I mean, we're kind of.
Sorry, old
It's okay.
old habits die hard.
Yeah, I mean, we're really sticking with the Mardi Gras theme,
Mardi Gras,
although it's,
yes.
yeah, it's kind of the new Yountville Days because
Yes.
it's the time of year that it would be the Townsend Corporation, but
Okay.
yeah, Mardi
Will
Gras.
there be a Yountville Days anything?
No. Yeah, we're kind of moving on from that. I mean, it makes sense it started as a harvest festival all those years ago, and I think that we've just evolved a lot, and the weather is not cooperative. But Mardi Gras will be early. It's early this year. It's February 7th, the day before the Super Bowl. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, we have several events that we want to talk about with Sam and see what kind of dates we can get on the calendar. So more to come.
So, Sam, I had a note that I forgot to mention during the marketing. Can I go back to it?
Yeah, of course.
We talked about a month or so ago, I think, about a continuing article for the Yountville Sun. Mm-hmm. Are we dialing that in for first of the year, or?
Yeah, I need to circle back with Lisa Adams-Walters, and I know she was really open to having kind of a regular arts section, and I think we just have to coordinate how we want to facilitate that. I think it was Caitlin and I are really taking the lead on that. So I think kind of the jump start of it could be the January show, and then do it regularly after that.
The children's show?
No,
or
the
photo
next, what's coming up next?
Finale.
The photo finale, yeah, as kind of the jump start of that. And then really relying on you all to maybe give us feedback too on, I don't want to reuse what we're already using for marketing, but to say like, this could be a really great article, or, obviously the Yountville Sun is a very local, and now it's more of the newsletter. It's all online format. And so the things that we may, really push in there are what our residents and really locals would be looking for. So I think, what's going on in the gallery is great. What, the Hearts of Yountville, I think will be a wonderful one to focus on, and but kind of what we find might fit.
Well, just new sculptures coming in.
And that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you, PJ,
We'll
keep that in
brainstorm.
mind too for what you're doing, how that lines up. I don't know if you can keep up with it monthly?
Yeah, so what I was thinking, kind of my approach was to reach out to Lisa and see what she would recommend, and then Caitlin and I can come up with kind of a list of things like we're going to hit this on this month and this, and then have you look at it and make sure it makes sense. So, yeah. And how much room she's going to give us, I'm not sure either, so we kind of have to play around with that.
I'm not sure either by her response,
Yeah.
but it sounded like a fair amount, enough at least to tell a story of whatever it is we're doing. So that would be great. I wish we could be more help on it. I think we can certainly contribute.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's one of
I mean,
our
we can
events,
kick
so-
started, and then if someone, feels like they're interested in kind of taking that on, or even intermittently, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you
Would it be
for
a
the
weekly-
reminder.
Would it be a weekly?
I think once a month, yeah.
We kind of talked about once a month to start. Yeah, yeah.
It's an opportunity. And I think we left it with Lisa as we need to look into it further as to who's going to be writing it and if we can do it, realistically do it. Because if we commit, then we need to do it. We need to.
Right, that's-
She'll be providing space. So, okay. Thanks, Sam. That's great. And thanks, PJ, for the good report. So photo finale, I have a brief update. The deadline was extended to December 14th, and that was the result of artists saying they're out looking for mustard, which they probably won't find yet, but, he has pulled in a few people since then, so, excuse me. He says it's 27, but I think we're closer to 30 photographers, and he's super happy with the 30. Thank you, David, for entering.
Yeah, it was fun.
And it's always nice to have a commissioner in the party, so thank you. But anyway, things are going well. He sent out the email, I think, today or over the weekend, Sam, on people getting their tickets ahead.
Today, came today.
Did it come today? And I wanted to ask, what about us? Do we need to buy our tickets?
No, the commissioners are included in the guest list, but if you want to bring a guest, then you would
okay.
purchase a guest ticket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Purchased the guest ticket, I think it's between today, the 4th, or today and the 6th of December.
Yeah, it's Friday. I think Friday it'll open to the public.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll send out that link to all of you as well, so that you have it, but you'll be on the guest list, but then if you want to bring someone,
And
just
it's in the
purchase a ticket.
email
Yeah,
that he sent out.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think just the artists got that email. I'll make sure you all get the link as well. So on Friday, that'll open to the general public. So just so all of the artists that are included in the show don't have to purchase a ticket, so the link is just for them to purchase for a guest they would like to bring. So.
Great. The website is up and current. As you may know, if you've looked at it, each entry is put on the website, so you can kind of go through and get an idea. I think it's going to be really beautiful. So he's excited about the way it's going, and so I am. And we'll have a final list, everything to Caitlin, by the middle of December, he says. And if you haven't seen, this is the image, this year's image of photo finale. So have that, And what else? I think that's all. Unless you have any questions. So if you have a mustard shot lurking somewhere, it's not too late.
Okay.
And you out there, same thing. So anyway, Art Sip and Stroll. I don't know. Well, I guess we do have a little bit. We have, as you indicated, Catherine Zimmer. If you know Catherine, she's a photographer and an illustrator. She will be the gallery artist during Art Sip and Stroll. And we're still working on the poster. We have a couple of entries. She is one of them. Nothing's perfect, but we're making progress.
We'll make it perfect.
We'll make it perfect, yeah. And there's work to be done, but at least we have our sights.
Yeah, and
we're
usually-
narrowing it down.
Usually whomever we work with is they're very accommodating, and it all works out very well in the end.
Sorry. It does. Yes. And I have been working on the Art Call website, and I hope that'll go live whatever day we're back. January 2nd is my goal. Okay. So then we'll open it up for Art Sip and Stroll artists on January 2nd. But
are we thinking the same number, 75? Is that?
Yeah.
Same layout, everything?
Yeah, there's been the person I worked with at the estate is gone, but I did send an email just confirming that I was reconfirm that I'm on your calendar. So just to double check before but we'll make final decisions not until, end of February. So.
And I hope we get that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on Art Sip and Stroll? I think the ball is in our court at this point.
Yeah.
So we're working on it. Next meeting, I'm sure we'll have an announcement to make. Sam, are there any informational reports?
I don't think so. I don't have anything. Just a reminder that the children's or the youth art show opens this Thursday night. So we'd love to see you there. And it's usually really great to see the proud little artists with their art. And we have really some spectacular art from all ages, but specifically kind of that mid to older teen group. Some rather impressive paintings this year. So I think you'll be surprised and delighted.
Going out of town.
Cookies and hot cocoa all around.
So you're happy with everything?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward. It's always it's a fun one with all the kids and the excitement and the parents and all of that. So thank you for handling that. I know Jeffrey was looking forward to it, but thank you for carrying on.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Commissioner comments. I've asked Linda and Noel to bring us up to date on their individual projects. So Linda, let's start with you on the foundation update, the community fund.
So the Yountville Community Foundation, this past grant cycle, we have funded 3 grants, the Farmstead, Hospitality Hounds, and Intergenerational Farming for $21,142. We had $50,000 available, so we now, and then at our January meeting, are going to consider reopening the grants to be able to spend the rest of the money. So we think it's just a small amount of money that we've funded. We've got a lot more, and we had a lot more good ideas, but some of the proposals need to be better developed. And so we've given them some feedback, so hopefully some of them will come back, because they were very interesting things, but they just didn't have all the details that we needed to be able to fund it. So we're hoping at the January meeting I'll be able to let you know whether or not we open it up. I guess our meeting's the 4th Thursday, so it'll be the February meeting then. But anyway, it's coming forward.
Who's the chair?
Pardon?
Who's the chair?
Who's the chair?
Yeah.
Michelle Arnold
Michelle.
is the chair.
And when you talk about farmstead,
Farm stand.
are you talking about farmstead?
It's the farm stand garden.
Oh, farm stand garden.
Farm stand garden,
Okay.
pardon me. Farm stand garden, yeah. The idea is that they're going to have this little bicycle, with a big basket on it, and they're going to go to the various people who are growing vegetables and things like that and pick up their surplus to be able to bring it back to be able to sell it at our co-op. So it's really been involving the community to support what we need to do for a healthier living.
Good.
It's really quite nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. And Hospitality Hounds, of course, is courtesy of our own Cindy Caption. Hello, Cindy.
It's part of this farmstead garden. So not only farm stand. And so part of that, we've actually helped them fund having a greenhouse so they can grow things themselves in the wintertime.
Oh, cool.
So it's really pretty exciting. They're pretty interested in that.
That's great. Great, thank you.
And can we go back with the Hospitality Hounds that you mentioned?
Yes, they were funded.
Okay, so but what does that? I guess I'm trying to figure out what that is, what it does, what it's for.
I
I can help.
Okay.
So Hospitality Hounds, Cindy applied for funding, Cindy Caption, last year, but wasn't funded, and she started on her own. And so it's a fund in the Town of Yountville Community Foundation, and it's a program that you might see the little business cards around town. And
I've seen one. One of my friends
locals, they have to apply for their dogs to be included and based on certain criteria, and they get a bandana, and there's trading cards, and they're ones that you see out in the community greeting, residents as well as visitors. And so it's just a really feel-good program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They also have an Instagram that they post really fun stuff on, and
I saw it. I know Nala, the Hospitality Hound.
yes.
And
yeah.
I believe Cindy's dog Olive won the costume parade.
Yeah, at the Halloween block party. Yeah.
Block party.
Yeah, but the goal when she started, it was so often we obviously have a lot of people to travel and stay here, and they miss their pets. And so she noticed when she would take her dogs out to the Bartisono and be out on the patio that so many people would come by and say, "Oh, can I pet your dog? Because I miss my dog." And so to have these dogs out in the community with their little bandanas on, and people know they're friendly and approachable, and so that's kind of the goal.
It's a cute program.
I like it.
Okay.
So I have one more thing, and this is I reached out to Visit California, and I actually got a response back. I gave a simple little paragraph, like 3 sentences, talking about, very similar to what I did for Napa Life, about what we could do here for Visit California. Because Rhonda and I have been looking to see everybody around, it seems like, except Yountville, gets featured. And then in addition to that, I was looking on their website, so I came across their coalition, Visit California Coalition, in which they have different tourisms, directors of tourism, and different facilities of different counties and different cities, but we don't have anything. And so we'll talk further about what it would be to see whether or not we can get a commissioner or get a CEO for tourism in Yountville be part of that coalition, because they help with actually identifying what stories should be published. So in addition to that, so the person I reached out to said, I gave her this little blurb, and she said, well, develop your proposal and send it to me, and then we'll have a conversation. And so she's waiting, and I'm waiting to develop the proposal. So I actually did a detail, because I'm not a marketing person, and Rhonda did the marketing organization, which is our starting point for discussions.
And so is there someone from Calistoga and St. Helena and Napa already on there?
No, so just to clarify, the coalition is people that are already in the industry, and so like Lindsay Gallagher from Visit Napa Valley represents the Napa Valley on Visit California Coalition. So they're not really individuals; they are people from Visit Anaheim or Visit San Francisco. Those CEOs of those organizations are who make up the Visit California Coalition.
So San Diego, we have Anaheim, Monterey, Beverly Hills, Oakland, West Hollywood, Sonoma County, Southern California, San Francisco Peninsula, and Santa Barbara. These are the people that make up the coalition.
So Lindsay Gallagher, President and CEO of Visit Napa Valley, is on the coalition, as well as a representative from the CEO of the Wine Train. So we have 2 representatives from Napa Valley on the
I wonder
coalition.
why they're not showing up on the information that
Yeah, I'm
she
looking on their
provided you.
website right now, and I saw those. So I'm on their website right now.
So then, when a story is submitted, Sam, then all of these people, this entire coalition decide?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that happens. I was just looking at the members that make up their coalition.
And
So
what
I
is the
don't-
coalition called?
It's called the Visit California Coalition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is there any reason why we can't pursue this person that Linda is talking to?
No, I don't
hit her
think
really
so. I
hard
just
with
want to
that?
be very cautious that we are not stepping on toes, because the Napa Valley has Visit Napa Valley that works with Visit California, and I don't want to somehow get us into a sticky situation. If we're looking at purchasing advertising or something through Visit California, then of course, like, we could do whatever we want. But I think we may be better off starting at the local level, who feeds into that. So Visit Napa Valley feeds the Napa Valley to Visit California, unless we're looking at using our own dollars to purchase advertising with Visit California. So if we want more support locally, I feel like locally towards the California level, I think we need to start locally.
But how do we do that?
I would say to give me a chance to reach out to Lindsay Gallagher and Visit Napa Valley and see, what their options are for us. And I think they do things for us that we may not even know they're doing. For instance, last year we bought, advertisement on KVON or KVYN for Art Sip and Stroll, only to find out Visit Napa Valley had already done that because we submitted the event to their calendar. So I definitely think there's an opportunity for a more combined effort there, not knowing exactly what they do. So if we start as staff to say who's the best person to talk to in your organization and here are our goals, then we can kind of go from there, is maybe what I would suggest.
It's just Visit California sends out blogs all the time. How many do we get? A couple a week, it seems. And we are never, ever on it.
Yeah, I would guarantee you that those are things that people have paid for.
Oh.
I guarantee you that the stuff that they are putting out, our people are giving them the dollars, but it's a question that we can absolutely ask. And, I think what we've found too is being opportunistic in other ways, which is having articles ready to go and saying, if you ever need something last minute, we have this, or, but I do think connecting at the local level first is probably to our benefit. Again, unless we want to throw a ton of money at Visit California, which we don't have.
So we're not talking about money at this point. We're talking about conversations
Absolutely.
to get us into something, because Visit California does have free programs. They may not be the articles we're seeing on the internet, but listings on calendars and opportunities for a town that we're not getting. And we don't see anything to.
And I mean, just looking at their website briefly, they have a button that says submit content. We've never used that as Yountville Arts. And so, we can definitely look at starting at a very simplistic level with that, and seeing, and I would assume that's probably what they're just asking you to do, is to submit content to them. I just am always very cautious of not stepping too far right out the gate. So, I think that there are 1,000 calendars that we could submit, and countless things we can submit our things to that have these buttons, and it's very time consuming. But if this is one that we want to focus on and start really shooting them everything we have, then we'll do that through those portals. So, and see where it goes. But again, I do think there is some benefit to. I don't know how people get placed into the top of the list. I don't know if it's who you know or if it's through who you throw your dollars at. I don't think there's any harm in making connections. I just like to be conscious of how I know the system works, I guess. Does that make sense?
Okay. So really what we need to do is reach out to Visit Napa Valley the person in charge of that.
Can you let me make an introduction? I think would probably be the best bet. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, because we work with them on other things, and so I think it just makes sense to do that, and I can make an introduction.
So we need to meet, Linda.
Yeah.
And decide amongst us the next steps, but we're hearing from Sam loud and clear that whatever we do is going to go through her first.
Okay.
So, does that sound right, Sam?
Yeah, I just want to be involved, at least at the local level, because, and it's not to control it. That. It's just mainly that there are other things that I'm, involved in through like the TID in Yountville that makes sense because we already have a relationship in some ways. Yountville's really working with them hard on some other avenues of really promoting Yountville as a resort destination of its own. And so how can we perhaps capitalize on that as something that enhances that environment too? So there's a lot out there in the universe right now that you may or may not know about. And if I can try to connect some of those things, I think it's a good place to start. So.
Okay.
But at the very least, I don't have a problem going in and where it says submitting content on Visit California. If we're writing a story or we have something that we're utilizing in other areas, we can definitely look at that.
I'm unclear about the goal. Is the goal, not with just Visit California, but, there are lots of profile raising opportunities, right, for the town of Yountville and for the Arts Commission. That's really, you're talking about the Arts Commission, right, that we're not mentioned in any of.
Yountville is not mentioned anywhere, period.
None of the restaurants, nothing.
Nothing.
That's interesting because Thomas Keller just won a huge award. Did you guys read about it? Anyway, the reason I say that is because I would imagine that they're going to get busier, which means the town's going to get busier. But, this is a little bit tangential, but Sam, at one point we were part of this Blue Zone Coalition, right? We're sort of helping develop the town in a way that gave it the points that it needed, along with Calistoga and Santa Elena for Blue Zone designation. Right. Mm-hmm. And I noticed the Blue Zone office no longer exists up in Santa Elena. Did that all go away, or is that still? So that is
it's a time specific process, and the Upper Valley is a Blue Zone community. So we went through the whole process. The Upper Napa Valley Blue Zone is a Blue Zone certified community. So
that happened.
That happened, absolutely, certified. Yes.
So it's now the 9th Blue Zone in the world, or the?
I can't remember the numbers, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just was unclear about the why. Like, what is it we're trying to do?
Well, the goal is probably bigger than we alone would attempt. Our interest is to promote the arts in town.
Right.
But it sounds like they're really looking for food and wine and retail and, what makes somebody want to come to Yountville. And so Noelle and I were just talking about, we would want to include other partners in this. We're just trying to figure out what it will take to try to break through and get them listening, or at least say, we'll send us material, which is what Linda just got. And so we've done an outline, which we'll go over and get it to Sam and see if she thinks we should expand it, or if she thinks it's good enough to submit as is. And it will be art forward, whatever we do. Mm-hmm. And then if, includes other aspects, then great, because we want people to come for everything.
That seems like a really good idea. Sam, when you go out to your colleague and sort of broker an introduction, is it possible to do this in the way people do these things politically, to not bruise egos or step on people's toes? Is it possible to
yes,
just learn, hear what the rules are? Like,
Absolutely.
what's the criteria? Like,
Yeah.
is there a submission process? Is there?
Yeah, I think the challenge, and just to keep at the top of mind, is that typically they are presenting us as the Napa Valley. They're not presenting us as Yountville. And that's a concerted effort, and it comes up in meetings pretty regularly as to the goal of that and why. And I think we have to know that there's a much bigger picture going on, and there's a lot of money has nothing to do with Yountville that funds a lot of these things. And so we may not get the answer we want, right? If we're saying we want to know why Yountville isn't the focus on Visit California, they may be like, we're here to do this, right? And so what our answer is, well, then we can feed information that's specific to Yountville to Visit California. But I think it's just really an education, and I think we ask the questions and we understand the answers. But, the Visit California, Visit Napa Valley, I mean, as many of you know, is fully funded through the Tourism Improvement District, which comes from all of the hotels, and that includes the unincorporated county and all of the cities. And so they look at things very globally. And so the concerted effort right now to have Yountville just show up as a destination for group business as a whole, like we're 500 rooms and all these things, like that's what we're working on right now, to try to like break away from the branding. But I think that anytime you have something interesting happening and different, I think we're on the cusp of something right now, honestly, in the industry, because everyone's looking for something different. Why do you want to come here? Because that narrative of the wine is unfortunately shifting, right? And so how do we position ourselves? And I think art is huge. It's huge. And so I don't want to squash any of this enthusiasm. I just am conscious of like how to best maybe get us in the door. And I feel like, a meeting where we're educated on how that works within Visit Napa Valley is great. And they may say, here's some inroads to Visit California or whatever it could be. But I do agree what you said is like, partnership wise, like where are the other potential partners in this? And, one little example is we just had the opportunity to bid a very high end conference as an entire town. And a big part of what I worked on was not just, hey, the community center has space for your conference, but here's a list of all of the other things that your people can do when you're here. And there were pictures and it was beautifully presented. And a huge part of that was the art walk.
And you don't have to leave Yountville.
Exactly.
That's the whole goal,
Yeah.
is you park your car here, you bring all your business people here,
And you stay here.
All the more reason why I hope we can get the Lincoln Theater back open. I mean, I know we can't get it back.
We're not bouncing on that, but I feel like,
but I'm just saying.
we do know, like Yountville has 508 rooms or whatever it is.
Right.
Like we have a certain amount of time, of capacity for people before they do have to leave here. And so let's focus on that. 1,000 people seat theater is great, but when you only have 500 rooms, you're not really going to attract that level of a conference. Like we have a lot to offer without that. But I think it's a very timely conversation, and I'm not saying like pump the brakes, but let me strategize a little bit and make some introductions so that we can all sit down and then have like an educational meeting and see what some good pointers would be. And then really, I feel like if we came from a place of how does what we do as Yountville Arts elevate Yountville and the Napa Valley, and what can we provide to you in order to make that happen? Do you need articles? Do you need photos? Do you need, how do we make your job easier? I feel like is maybe the direction we kind of pursue that in. So, long story short, we'll keep chipping away at it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I guess the point that we feel most dear to us is there's no Napa Valley on Visit California. So,
well, I'm on there right now, and we're on the top 5 on their main page. So I think it just varies for when you look at it right now. I think they just Visit California just has probably some sort of algorithm, but when you look at the front page, it's Sacramento, Fresno, Sonoma, Ventura, Napa. Right now, at least today.
It might be based on your IP address.
It might absolutely just be where you're looking at. So I don't know the answer to the algorithms, but it's a question we can educate ourselves on. So, yeah, I will start with the introduction, if that's okay.
So you don't need anything from us at this point?
No, you'll see an email that I include you in, and I'll just ask Lindsay who the most appropriate person to maybe sit down with us, and I'll make that introduction and see where it
Could they do
goes.
a presentation for, I mean, is it
Absolutely.
possible to have them do a presentation for the Arts Commission?
Absolutely.
And, you know, it would be informative, not just for us, but for all of the people that are paying attention
Yeah.
to what's happening in the arts. That might be a nice way to,
Absolutely. I could definitely ask that at the meeting level, and then
We could maybe invite them to our next.
yeah,
to
I
upcoming
can do that
meeting.
for sure. They love sharing data.
yes.
They love it. But another, interesting, I think I mentioned this a couple months ago and it kind of fizzled, but I did get approached by someone, an artist in the community, who said, well, why isn't, I forget the designation, like there's a designation of an arts area that you can get through, I think it's either California or the United States. And why isn't the Napa Valley this? And I was like, well, that's interesting. And I did kind of go down the rabbit hole, and I expressed to her, because you have to have a municipality behind you in order to start the application process. And I said, if you're interested in bringing that proposal forward to the Arts Commission first, then let me know. And she was kind of spearheading it, but she hasn't come back, but I'll reach out to her too. Because I think there's other things, it's not just us, there are arts interesting things going on in other cities as well. And, if Napa County as a whole could have some sort of arts designation as a destination, I think it could just elevate things too. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. Yeah.
I actually have the name of a lady with whom I was communicating about the article, so I'll send that name to you, Sam, because you may know that person.
Okay. David? Is there any other business that any of you would like to discuss this evening? No?
I think so.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second that. Moved and seconded to adjourn today's meeting on December 1st. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right, motion carries. We are adjourned.